Okay, so this is VGE Jackler, and I thought about making my own Tekken 7 tier list, and I decided to, um, you know, uh, sh- divide all the characters into top tier and low tier, of course, and online and offline. How good is the character online and how good is the character, offline tournaments. And of course, as any tier list there is, and it's my personal opinion based on different reasons, and of course I'm going to try and give those reasons. I decided to do this tier list after playing now I think 2 or 3 nights ranked on PlayStation 4, which kind of feels almost the same now as PC, as the difficulty goes. But the character choices that I saw in the ranked are quite different than on PC. So now I thought, let's try and put those characters into a nice, tier list. Okay, so let's start with Heihachi. So I don't have like any S or numbers here. I'm just going by the flow and see how it turns out and how it plays out. Anyway, let's start with here. So Heihachi, after the new buffs and stuff, builds a quite a strong momentum. I think. Yeah, I think he builds a quite a strong momentum. So he, at least right now, he's quite playable compared to the previous version of him, and he can be quite annoying. He has the ability to hold the pressure quite a bit. A lot of cross frames and a lot of tricky stuff, and of course he's full crouch sweep now gives him a guaranteed 442, and if you wake up it's a launcher. So he has other stuff right now, but still I would put him more online a character about here, but we'll see how the division goes. Well, Kazuya is quite brain dead character. He is more online. I'm guessing he's way online. Offline, not so good. He has to risk all the time. But online, he's pretty good. He just goes in. It's pure 50-50. And this is one of the characters that really don't have to block. Like, never. So, right now, I'm guessing Kazuya should be here. Although Kazuya is defensive character for some reason now, Kazuya players never try to block anything, they just go in. It's pure 50-50, buttons, always buttons. And of course the 13th frame mid homing move that on counter gives him a combo, and of course the 13th frame while standing launcher. So he has some good stuff. So yeah, online really, I think is really good character. But Jin is one of the more annoying ones, and especially offline, and he has everything, and I hate his forward 4, so that's a really good move for sure. So although he's more offline character, but still he doesn't really suffer from anything. He has some tools for everything, and of course the best parry in the game as well. So if this character is played correctly, he is deadly as hell. Well, Akuma is non-Tekken character. I don't play against them. I don't consider them a part of Tekken, and I don't really think that people who main non-Tekken characters can be even called the Tekken players at this point. Anyway, Akuma is, well, he has a lot of stuff, of course, but I don't think he's anything special. So he's, so and so. I'm guessing he's somewhere in the middle. So I would put Akuma around here. He works, I think, about the same online and offline, so not a big difference there. Poor Lars, there's nothing really to talk here. He lacks a lot of stuff, so he's more online and lower part of the tier list. Of course, now Alisa or Alisa, I don't know how the fuck they say it. Alisa is an interesting one. She has a lot of stuff, of course. She has a lot of launchers. She has damage. She has, like the auto combo stuff that always connects. You can't really drop a lot of stuff with her. The best sidewalk in the game, but she doesn't really have like a comeback mechanic. Like if somebody takes a life lead on Alisa, then how does Alisa can make the comeback? She needs to risk, because all her like good launchers and stuff are super unsafe. So she really needs to risk. So I wouldn't put him. Yeah, I wouldn't put her up there, and I would say once again better online, so a little bit higher than Akuma, somewhere here. Well, Hwarang is a good character on paper, but there is an execution wall here, and that execution wall is quite big one. Like all the good stuff that you want with the character are either hidden behind the stands or hidden behind like certain floors, certain strings. So like a single hit character, poking game, not so good. And if people know this character and they know how to play against Orang, then all the stuff that this character is missing, they all come out really fast. Well, he has damage, so I would say about the same tier as Kazuya, and more offline than online character. So I would put him here. Let's see if he stays there. Well, Devil Jin, no doubt, is a superb character, more offline character, and I would say one of the best characters in the game. He has everything, like everything I would think of. A character could have. Devil Jin has it. 15 frame launchers, 10 frame punish, 12 frame punish, wild standing launchers, safe meets, 2 safe meets, back 4 and up forward 4. Up forward 4 is still, in my opinion, one of the best moves in the game. This is a super safe launcher that's a safe launcher that crashes lows. Think about it. It has range, tracking, everything. So this is a character to play. Of course, Devil Jin player does need to take risks, of course, with the sweep. If you're not doing the sweep, you're not conditioning your opponent, and you're not really getting the rewards, from when they are attacking. But still, super good character. Now we have another one here. Dragunov works about the same on every level, but not as good as Devil Jin. But still, one of the highest tier characters. Works online and offline about the same. No real differences there in that regard. Well, everybody knows Dragunov, so nothing big to talk about. Paul, of course, little bit more offline character, I would say, about the same tier than Devil Jin. Also has everything, one of the best down for 2 in the game. So he has damage, he has parries, good armor, wild standing moves, everything this character has that you would want, in the character. Well, he lacks a little bit pressure side. He's a little bit lacking. He doesn't get like plus frames a lot, but still, like if you played against Paul, you know exactly what I mean here. Love is a tricky one, if you go to practice mode and start trying this character out, you will find that he has a lot of good stuff. So many good things, so many plus frames, tricky stuff there. But most of these things are highs, and if people know when to tuck these things, then everything that Love does becomes risk for him. If he tries to be safe, or get plus frames, they will duck and he can be punished, even launched. If he goes for the mid options, most of these options are either sidesteppable or punishable. So, he has a throw mix-ups, he has a lot of stuff, but for some reason, or for weirdly enough, he has so many launch punishable moves that the low player can't really utilize a lot of stuff, but still he is way better than most characters in the game, so I would put him here, around the same spot as Chin, but more online than offline. Anyway, the Bob is a Bob is Bob. What can I say about the Bob character? I don't really know Bob. Like, Bob is one of unknown matchups for me, and he's back 2, of course, back 2. Pressure is always annoying to deal with. So he has a lot of good buttons. He's big character, but he doesn't have a big hurtbox. Like, he's the weird one. He has smaller legs, like behind setups with, like, for example, like Lucky Claw, it doesn't work. On Bob you need different stuff. So, but also again, he needs to take risks. But he's quite the higher third, I would say, and he works better, I think, even offline. So he's better offline character, actually, a lot more offline character. I would put him around here, about same as Heihachi is right now. Really good offline character. So yeah, he's not really that difficult to use. He doesn't have like execution barrier like with Mishimas that you need to do electrics. So yeah, why not? Well, Brian is a sad one. Again, on paper, super good character, but the execution barrier on this character is insane, and the reward isn't really that good when compared with other characters in the game that get the same things or even better things with almost no effort whatsoever. Then Brian players, well, they work way too much for it, and sucker kick isn't even a true low. You can't hit opponents on the ground. It's minus 13, so people Kazuya can launch punish it. So yeah, there's so many things that Brian lacks, and weirdly enough, he's a defensive character, so I wouldn't put him that high, and he's an offline character for sure. So I would say quite in the middle one here, so I'll put him around here, I think here. So I have a huge respect for Prime players overall. He's not an easy character to play, although if you watch some of the best Prime players in the world, this character seems broken as hell. But yeah, that's only because they work their ass off, and he lacks like most good punishes. Like, he doesn't have good 10 frame punish, he doesn't have 11 or 12 frame punish that good, so he gets like 13 frame punish, but that's still that even. But even that isn't really that good. Of course, he gets a 14 frame launcher, but but other characters like Law and Josie, XOU, Paul, they all have 14 frame launchers, so that's not really that unique as well. So Steve is a high tier and little bit more online than offline, so I would say Steve is on the same tier as Paul. Steve has everything you could want except for a 15 frame launcher. But yeah, his Wild Sonic game, insane good. So all the moves that force crouch opponents, Steve can punish them so hard, and then start the pressure. So a little bit more online, but still the highest tier I think this game has. Nina is a tricky one, she can be played good, she can be played bad, of course, but she can't be played great, I think. You can't be great with the character, beat this character because the neutral is bad. Once again, if your opponent has a life lead, for example, like let's say a 40% or 50% life lead, then comeback isn't really a thing for her. She can't start pressure with from far away, so she needs to take risks once again, and then those risks can kill her really, really fast. And even her mix-ups aren't really a things, because the low slide from the cancels doesn't launch. Her sweep is the one of the slowest and the most negative ones in the games, so she has to take a lot of risks. So players who play Nina and are able to pull a lot of stuff out of her work so much, and they are worth respect, I think, in many regards. And of course this character is more online a little bit, so I would put her around here. So sorry all Nina players, but I don't think at least on paper Nina is that good of the character. If you calm down and just don't press buttons, Nina can't really she can't really do a lot of things that she wants to do. Lily, on the other hand, is a superb character, really good character. Oh my god, this girl can crush you and crush your dreams, crush your ranks and whatever. So in my opinion, Lily is one of the best characters in the game, more online, so I would place her around here. Well, not so much, not that back online, but still almost, let's say here, almost at the top tier, so around the same as Dragunov. Asuka now, well, she needs a damage nerf, but in reality, she can be played like in many different ways. A lot of characters in Tekken can be played many different ways, but usually one certain way dominates. Asuka don't have a certain game plan, so you can choose the way you play. She has defensive tools, she has offensive tools, she can be tricky, she has cancels, she has damage, wall carries, she has a lot of great tools. And especially in season 2, I think she's really, really good, but I think she's a little bit better than Hwarang, and she was a little bit better offline. So I would put Asuka around here, not as good as Heihachi, but here. Okay, something like that. XOU sadly has been quite nerfed, so she is more now still more offline character actually, and a little bit worse than Akuma, so she is about here. Although I got tilted with her because she gatekeeped my Katarina like 4 or 5 games to to entering the light blues on PlayStation, and she actually went under the low or invincibility with the California roll, the backwards California roll, but that's only one move. Other than those moves, XO player can't really go in, as she can't block, the if the black back is turned. So there are many characters that can easily destroy her. So for some reason she got nerfed. Let's go to Feng, one of the most annoying characters in the game. Oh my fucking god, he has everything, and I think he works better online. A lot of gimmicks that he has are harder to react online, and I would put Feng to about the same place where Law and Jin are. So characters that have everything, at least on paper, but the best stuff are not that easy to access, maybe. Anyway, Leo, I don't really know that much about Leo, and that's for a good reason, because Leo isn't really a thing. She has a lot of cool pressure stuff, but pretty much her gameplay still evolves around one move, which is back one, and if you are able to take that away, keep you outside of the back one range, then characters with better range will take over the game. And so more offline character, little bit more offline, but about the same tier as Nina. Well, Leo and Nina are similar, and Lars and these characters here, they aren't really that much played. So usually, if you see these characters winning, they are just dedicated players who just use an unknown characters or not mainstream characters really good. Either good fundamentals or some flowcharts or some trickery that you haven't really seen. But if they in the longer sets, I think the characters under this one can be easily downloaded or just forced to play opponent's game. Well, Yoshimitsu, this is only a trickery. This character doesn't have a lot of real things. What I mean about real things that can't be avoided or super oppressive. So Yoshimitsu player needs to have good fantasy, and I think in a sense of humor, because a lot of his stuff seems to be broken, like the flash parry or unblockable launchers. But if you calm down and take a little bit look, then you see that this character isn't really that good. So I would say around Akuma level, a little bit worse, and more online and offline, and not really an offline character for many reasons. And first of the reason being that it's so much easier to react to the things that Yoshimitsu does offline. King now is an amazing character. I like how Tekken 7 has made King. That one of the few things that I like about Tekken 7 is the King character. King is more offline character for sure, and King has an execution barrier in a way that you need to have his godlike hit confirms. But if you can hit confirm like that, then I think King, he's around here, even more on the side of Bob. Well, I can't make the King see behind it, but how the hell do I make it that the King comes forward? And King has everything, except for the good 10 frame punish maybe, but 2-1 is a 10 frame punish that gives him just enough. I think it's +7 or +6 it was, so gives him a chance for throw mix up. Well, Jack now, one of my main characters. Um, Jack is a tricky one. You don't really see Jack online that much because Jack has a trouble with bottom matches really because he's quite easy to mash because he can't hop kick. He doesn't have hop kick. He doesn't have side step, side walks. So characters that have a lot of plus frames, for example, like Hwarang here, or some other characters, they can really force Jack into place. So Jack players need to calm down and try to take control of the match's tempo because that's how you should play. So Jack game plan is really easy. Jack is just mid and low poke game, and if you mess up, then down forward 2, super long range launcher. You can't really underestimate the range of that move, and then the fun starts. Let's say that way. So Jack has above average damage. Strong lows, strong mids. He can plus keep the plus frames quite a long time. He has many moves that are +7, +8, +9, even +12. He has Hokey game, throw mix-ups. So I would put him higher here. Not as good as Devil and Paul, but he is so much more offline. So I would say Jack is about here. Definitely high tier, but he has an easy game plan, but he's not easy to play. One of the things that I hear people say a lot about Jack, that he is easy to play. Well, one thing, just try playing Jack, like for real. If you think that Jack is easy to play, just try the character, and then you start realizing that 10 frame punish isn't there. He doesn't have 12 frame, 13 frame punish, even 14 frame. So he pretty much has 11 frame. Next one is 15 frame. So well, but if you start going into it, he doesn't really need it because he has 12 frame low. He has 14 frame safe long range 2 meets that one of them can lead to launchers or through strings. So he has a lot of stuff that also is unfair. And of course, if you mess up, then you are negative, and sometimes 88 over 80 frames or even 200 frames. Kata original. 444. 444 character. One of the best. One of the best Magic 4s in the game. You can't underestimate the power of that 444. The damage, the wall carry, the insane 11 frame Magic 4. Of course, this is more online character, not completely online. She has stuff for offline as well. Not highest tier. I would put in about the same tier as Kazuya and Hwarang. Although she has a lot of good stuff. But she misses a lot of things as well. And one thing that Katrin actually misses is neutral. And you might think that with those strong lows and long reaching meets you can play neutral. Well, you actually can't, and that's the thing. Besides forward 4, the homing mid, she has a problem because those lows are reactable, and if you reach higher ranks online and play offline, then people actually can react to those, and most characters can launch those moves. So you can't, and after you can't use those strong lows, then you are just stuck with poking game. She has a strong poking game for sure, but where she shines is her the Harry stance is the Harry stance mix up is superb. Her whiff punish with long reaching, one of the, if not the longest reaching hop kick in the game, which just goes so far that people are not ready for that move. And of course her damage is really good. Her wall game super good. So she has a lot of good stuff, but of course the same problem that Kazuya has or Haran has, that some essential things for high tier characters that like Jack has or Paul or Shin has, that super oppressive gaming style that could that puts opponent into a standby mode, like what do I do now. She really doesn't have that. So yeah, more online character, but if you reach higher levels, then she kind of her missing stuff starts hurting the Katarina players. But still 444, of course, that's the thing. Well, Kazumi has never been a low tier character, although people said that after some nerfs she got low tier. No, she didn't. She is offline superb character with excellent poke game, insanely good poke game, insanely good whiff punish game. Damage is pretty decent and not the best. So she has a lot of stuff, so I would say about the same tier as Jack, but not so much as offline only character, but definitely offline more oriented. So around here. Gigas, let's go down here. That doesn't work offline at all. Online, only here. This character is a joke. I don't know. Somebody somewhere hates Gigas. Like somebody in the Tekken project room sits there and just laughs. Like really laughs. The character is missing so many things that this is a separate video just to explain this part. For example, things that doesn't make sense. Down back 3, the long reaching glow. It does almost no damage. It's +6 on hit only, but it's launch punishable. It's -23 or 24. Why? It won't launch at. It just that move won't launch. So this is just a regular low that doesn't even do a lot of damage. It does like 17 or 16 or something, damage, but it's launch punishable. I don't know why. So even if the opponent gets hit with it, it's +6. So, but what are you going to do? Because Gigas doesn't have a low launcher. He has a full crouch down forward too. The low sweep, but that sweep is 32 frame or 29 frame startup. Everybody can react to that move, and that move is -30. Again, you can stand up and do some other launcher that so heavily launch punishable. So, but other than that, he has just down 3, which down 3 and down 4, which do like the poke damage, like 12 or 13 or something like that, and they are both negative on hit, -3 and -4, I think it was. So why would you duck there? Nobody would duck there, because the while standing moves the Gigas has are all negative. So while standing 1 is the worst while standing 1 the Gigas has. While standing 2 and 3, -13, punishable. While standing 4 and 1, -13, punishable. While standing 3, 18 frames while standing launcher, -13 again, punishable. So what are you going to do there? Who knows? So yeah, definitely in the shit tier, especially after Marduk came out. I don't know why I played this character. I just took this character like once again, like kind of like a joke thing that let's try a bad character, but not a good character. Like so much work, so little reward. Claudio is quite high tier in my opinion. If you play this character right, he is about here, just a little bit more online character, but he has everything you need. He doesn't have he doesn't have a PTP move list, so easy to learn. Well, hard to play in many ways, but if you have strong fundamentals, you can already play this character. And of course the hop kick, the low crushing, high evading, high crushing, low kick, not low kick but hop kick. So insanely good. Talking about hop kicks, Shaheen also super high tier. I would put him more offline into the same spot next to Asuka. Although some people again said that Shaheen isn't really that good. Why? What is this character missing? What is this character missing? If you can control the tempo of the game, then Shaheen is superb character. And then the biggest risk that he has to pretty much take is between the slide and hop kick, pretty much, which is not really that big of a risk compared to some other characters here that need to take more risks. Well, except maybe Jack players can pretty much play without ever taking any risks, because the poke game is insanely good. Forward 1 for example. Poor man's Bruce. So more online for sure, online and about here. This character works pretty good online, offline. So many problems come out quite fast. Highs and highs. This character lacks the good meat that Bruce had. Doesn't have the back 2 as Bruce had. So although they had it, the meat option from the stance, the plus frame, low crashing one, but still everything is so slow. And if you play a character like Katarina, for example, I never respect anything that Josie does. I just put 4 and I win. I literally win most things that Josie does, because those things aren't real. The gaps between everywhere and Katarina type character or Steve just start pressing buttons, and poor Josie are in trouble. She has a damage so and so. One of the best wall carries, but she doesn't really have plus frames. She doesn't have negative frames, but you can duck most of the things that are good. Lucky Chloe, really good character. Little bit more online character. I love this character. One of my own best win percent characters, but I never have gone deeply into this character for many reasons, because I think Katarina is better than Lucky Chloe, but if you can play, then poke game is for sure better than Katarina. But Lucky Chloe does need to take a little bit more risks than Katarina does, so I would say somewhere around here is where I would put Lucky Chloe. Eddie is a tricky one, execution barrier, for sure, so I would say he's offline and here. I don't see, that potential in Eddie that some people see in this game. I think the Tekken Tag 2 version of Eddie was so much better. This version, I just don't fear him. Whenever I meet Eddie players, I don't even think of them as a threat, because what can they do to me? Although sometimes they win, but most of the time I win this character even without knowing the matchup. And that's the reason why I put this character here. I don't think he has good things, and all the average or goodish things, you have to work so hard to get those things. But one of the best backdashes in the game, or maybe even the best backdash, while this shit here has the worst. Anyway, so let's take Game Master Raven, one of the more annoying characters to play against. The range that this character can play, the damage that this character does with the wall, and of course the amount of launchers this weird character has. But still, if you put this character under pressure, keep working sideways and keep your pressure, then I don't really see Master Raven being that dangerous. But still better than Leo and Brian, so little bit more online and somewhere around here. Eliza, non-Tekken character, again the same shit that with Akuma, you know, Street Fighter players at least have an option now. So this character is annoying as fuck. So I would say this is actually even a little bit more offline and a little bit better than Bob. I would put Eliza here. So if you play Eliza pretty good, well, like to the max potential, I think Eliza is one of the characters that can be in top 8s in bigger tournaments, but just because there are easier characters to play, because the best combos and stuff are behind the execution barrier, because you know the fast dive kicks and things like that, and of course you need meter. So that's pretty much the only thing that stops her. Miguel suffers from, I think, only thing is that his stance puts him, you know, standing. He can't really move with the stance. So characters that have a super good range or characters that can play from a long range are annoying to deal with if you play Miguel. I tried to play this character, dropped him quite fast, wasn't really that much things there. So I would say more offline and a little bit better than Ixoyu, but worse than Akuma. So around here. Lee is, I think, super character. For some reason I haven't seen, you know, Lee that much, you know, at bigger offline tournaments. He has so many good things, but once again the execution barrier, you know, the back to cancelling, to get the damage and the wall carry. His good combos are like frame tight in many cases, so the execution barrier kind of kills the, I think, you know, the magic of the character, but I would say he's still pretty good. So around here, if you can see the face of Lee, I would put him here. A little bit better than Bob and King, but not as good, you know, as Love, as Feng are. So yeah, somewhere here. Kuma has never, for me at least, been a low tier character. People always said, oh yeah, Kuma and you know, Gigas were the shit tier. Well, really, if you like compare these two characters, then this one has everything, this doesn't have anything. So for me, Kuma was always here, around here. You know, yeah, he's not top for sure, because most things he has, I think, the most launch punishable moves in the game, but still not that bad. Better than Alisa, I think, but around here. Definitely more offline character than online character for sure. Well, Kuma and Panda are the same, so yeah. Okay, let's say the Panda is better color, so little bit better. Keith Howard, oh my god, this character is broken as fuck. Definitely offline more than online, and around here. You know, one of the strongest DLC characters in the game. But Keith has matchup problems. Keith has a problem with not Devil Chin, regular Chin, because regular Chin can parry the back 3-2, I think it was, or 3-1, I don't know the move. The basic move that Keith players cancel. Chin can parry the second hit, and that means that Keith Howard can never cancel that, which we saw in Evo Japan as well. So that's pretty much kills the whole point of the character. But other than that, you know, Keith has problems with, for example, even Devil Chin isn't really good matchup. Paul is annoying to deal with for Keith, but you know, Keith has you know, the strings and the weird stuff that the 2D fighters has, so he has potential. Let's say it like that. So Noctis. Online, fully online, and let's say online and here. It's a basic 50-50. You can easily react to those things. Not even that high. I would say worse than Kazuya, around here. little bit lower than Lucky Chloe. About here. Offline, easily reactable things. You don't really need to duck actually, because the duck or the long spear is reactable, so you don't just have to duck waiting for it. You just stand and try to react to the low one, and if you do react to it, it's launch punishable, and it's heavily negative. So yeah, like, he does have a lot of stuff, but he misses what I think is needed or essential for a character to be a high tier. Leo is a missed chance. On paper, this character should be good, but he's not, and right now I would put Lei more online and quite low tier, sadly. I had so many hopes for this character, I tried this character, but I just don't feel it. Like with previous versions of Lei, I was quite happy with the character. I loved this character in Tekken 2. He was my main character, and I win many tournaments at that Tekken 2 time with playing Lei. But yeah, other than that, I just didn't feel this character, and I just dropped him immediately. Anna, I think not so much better than Nina. About the same, but a little bit more offline, so I would put those two characters around here. I consider these the same, but Anna has a little bit more the unknown factor, even more than Nina has. But other than that, I don't think they are like some super good characters. Of course, I need to mention that, like, in Tekken in overall, all these characters are playable. So even Gigas can get top 8s in big tournaments. So the difference between the best characters and the worst characters aren't really that big. We are not talking about Mortal Kombat kind of tier lists where where the lower tiers are pretty much unplayable. Every character here is unplayable. All these characters can win tournaments. Every one of these characters, but most likely these ones here are going to win stuff. So Marduk is a good Gigas, but at the moment so many things are still unknown about the character. But I would say he's definitely more offline, and in my opinion he should be around here, around the same place as Hwarangis, and definitely more offline as well. I'm just at the moment, I think we are one surprise player away from the moment when people just go berserk and start discovering this character, and then they find a lot of broken crap. Armor King, in my opinion, is one of the best characters in the game, offline and online for sure. He works everywhere, but not the best, but almost the best. So I would put him. Well, he doesn't sure, but around here, around the Shaheen level, let's say, about here. And of course that's the whole deal, is because those two are unknown. I don't know anything about Negan or Julia. If Julia is same as she was, she is annoying as hell, but she will have problems with side working. That means side working characters like Lily and Lisa and things like that will make her life hard. That means already she can't be top tier. Negan most likely is quite bad, because DLC characters so far, well, except Keith Howard and Eliza, haven't been really that good. Well, Armor King of course, but people have mixed opinions about Armor King, because Armor King can't get in that good, and Armor King can't get his turn. That's the biggest problem maybe right now, I think. But if Armor King gets his turn, his momentum is so hard to break. He can just he can do so many things. Anyway, Negan, from the trailers I see that he most likely has a hard knockdown 10 frame punish, which is Gigas' like thing, but other than that I have no idea how these two characters will play it out. Anyway, this is my tier list, more or less. After putting all the characters here, You know, if I would want to move anything or anybody, I would say, let's think about. Yeah, well, I actually don't think that I should move anything. This is about what I think about the current situation on the game before, getting Negan and Julia and update, which, most likely they patch and or add something to the game. Who knows? I'm afraid that they nerfed Armor King's 4 a little bit. At the moment, as an Oki, it's so good move. It's a little bit too good for many reasons, but who knows? So yeah, that's it. And at the one moment when MKX comes out or MKX MK11 or something, I will try this tier list shit again. But it was quite fun. Guessing quite long as well. But yeah, so that's it. And whatever. See you next time.